Before you ask a question, there's just something that I think it's important to talk about, especially at this time. Um, if you're doing deep spiritual practice and it's a sincere effort to truly get to a state of enlightenment, you're going to go through endless numbers of experiences in yourself because human beings are a composite of love and anger and happiness and hatred and jealousy and envy and etc. It all exists inside a human being. And this meditation really has to clean, up one's act. One has to get to the other side of all those things. And if you do this meditation in a deep way, you're going to arrive at a place, it's almost like the edge of a cliff where things are going to happen in your life which you don't like and that are going to make you unhappy and you're going to arrive at these places and there's going to be a period of time where it's very, very difficult. And it's often when people leave the meditation, for some reason, it's a time when people need more energy than any other point in their life. Is people, well, I'm not strong enough, I'm not this, I don't. They always have reasons to fall away from the meditation practice. And look, in the Bible, it's called the dark night of the soul. Everybody goes through it who wants a spiritual life. Metaphorically, it's a struggle with the devil that lives inside each and every human being. All that negative energy that has to be surrendered, we have to let go of. And in order to let go of it, we have to confront it and go through it and learn how to burn it up and to transcend it inside ourselves. And, for me, this period of time between Rudy's birthday and his samadhi, it's always that way. I mean, uh, I seem to come up against myself in a very dramatic way between the 24th of January and 21st of February. But I realized over the years of working on myself is essential. I have to have the guts to be able to work through, the negative quantities that exist inside me. And I'm saying I think it's for every single human being that truly wants to build a spiritual life inside themselves. They have to have the courage to and they can't expect deep meditation to be like a pat on the back and I'm okay, you're okay, and we're all groovy and this, it's not that way. It takes you to what you need to work through to truly get to God. The things that are keeping you from getting there have to be burnt up inside you. They have to be worked through inside you. And the going gets tough. It's not easy to go through these kind of things. And strange as it may sound, the first thing that people walk away from is the meditation practice. Oh my God, I'm supposed to be feeling, wonderful inside. I meditate. It's not that way. You go through all the different aspects of yourself, the things that are wonderful, the things that are keeping you from growing, the anger, the resentments inside, the revenge needs, and all the stuff that kind of festers within a human being. We have to confront and work through. And how are we going to work through it if we don't have the energy to do it? And all this meditation class is about is getting the energy to do what I'm talking about. I told you I run a filling station here. It's called the Shakti filling station. And it's getting the energy that helps you to get through all of these situations that are difficult. And sometimes they seem to be impossible. Financial situations, marital situations, relationship situations that are that become very difficult for people, and they have to work through them. And they're also a reminder that we haven't arrived yet, and we need to do deeper work on ourselves. To do the deeper work on ourselves, we need energy. We need to be connected to a higher force of energy in the universe. That energy gives us the strength to work through all of these negative quantities that have to be worked through in order for us to get to the other side of ourselves. Because on the other side of all of us is a spiritual life. So I've seen this so much where people, oh my God, I just had a relationship that broke up. I just lost a lot of money. And they disappear. They disappear. And it's exactly the time when they need to make even a deeper commitment, because that deeper commitment will give them the life force, the spiritual force to truly work through the problems and get to a place in themselves where they're free of those problems and they can really keep the heart open and feel joy and love inside themselves and gratitude that they're given the opportunity to free themselves of all these kinds of situations. So I'm just talking about this because it happens a lot. And I have to deal with a lot of people that go through these kind of things. And I really believe that everybody who wants a spiritual life has to go through the Buddha went through it, Christ went through it. For God's sake, every great saint in the history of the world has gone through, this dark night of the soul to get to that other side where they truly have built a connection with that higher energy, and they begin to see the radiance of that energy and the miracle of that energy, even in the negative things, because the negative things make them work deeper on themselves. So I hope this is clear. And, I'm not going to be here patting people on the back and telling you that having a spiritual life is an easy thing to do. It's not. You're up against so much stuff, but we need energy in order to transform that stuff into a life-giving force in us that enables us to connect with a higher energy in the universe. And then we stop living with something that always does damage to people, expectations, the way we think life is supposed to be. And of course, life never is, and life is just life. It's what it is. It's just life. And we need to be able to be strong enough inside to deal with whatever we have to deal with in our daily life. Because we are not in a position to determine how other people are going to live and what they're going to bring to us, you know? So we need to be strong enough to deal with what life brings. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? And what do we all want in this world? We just want to be happy people. All the problems, the soap operas, the dramas that we create and that are created for us, are just reasons why we try to defeat the one thing that we really want in life, and that's just to be happy people. So to be able to deal with those things that we create and are created around us, we need to be spiritual warriors. We need to have that warrior thing in us, not to hurt anybody, but to build up the inner strength that enables us to transform the negativity into something that truly gets us to a state of spiritual enlightenment. Or even on the, minimal, it just brings us a state of happiness that we can live here and be happy in our lives. Forget about spiritual enlightenment, just to be happy human beings. That in itself is such a major step. And just to live with this sense of inner peace and quiet and self-worth and gratitude for the miracle of what life is. Does anyone have a question?
Hi, Stuart. I don't have a question, but I just want to say how grateful I am for these classes, and I'm just so happy to be back. And just really thank you for what you do. It means a lot to me and to many
Welcome.
people.
When you suddenly disappeared one day, I missed you, Alicia, because I saw in you such an amazing capacity to have a spiritual life. I also saw the pain, the struggle, the depression, but that can all be overcome, and we're trying to help you do that. God bless you, dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question or anything like that?
Stuart, I don't have a question either. I just wanted to say that your talk is very resonating with what I was going through during meditation. So thank you for being so hitting it on the nail. Thank you.
You're welcome. Look, I've known you for a long time, Nancy. And, from the day I met you, I saw an amazing person, very smart, very creative inside. But you got to go through your stuff, you know, you have to go through it and just be able to all it can do is make you stronger. That's all it can do. If you use it consciously, it'll make you stronger. And just be grateful that whatever's going on, you can use to get stronger. You can build your life. You can become a more remarkable human being, and you can live with it with an open heart. It doesn't defeat you. I mean it. And don't live with too many expectations about life should be. Just take it as it comes. Learn from it. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And just remember that all I do here is I run a filling station. I'm not a guru. I'm not a swami. I'm nothing. I'm not a holy man. I run a filling station, Shakti filling station. The kind of energy people need to get through all the nonsense we have to go through in life in order to just be happy people. We need energy. We need Shakti. And that's all this class is about. It really is. And I feel very grateful and very humble that I can do this. That's it. It just makes me humble. I remember Rudy told me, he said, next year, Big Indian, first I'll teach, then you'll teach, and then we'll show cartoons. It was one of the greatest things he ever said to me. So I always began to think I could be replaced by Bugs Bunny. I better be humble and grateful and allow God to do the work that the universe has to do. And if it has to use me to do it, I'm just grateful to be here to do it. So we can't take ourselves too seriously. We have this kind of egotistical self-importance about ourselves and who we are and what we are. Because one day we all we all become dust anyway. So the whole thing is ridiculous, you know. Does anyone else have a question? Try to find the humor in situations. I mean, even the most terrible ones, just find a way to, not laugh in people's faces, but just to not let yourself get sucked into it and understand that no matter what it is, it all passes. This too shall pass. And why get sucked into it and let all your energy drain out of you into some stupid soap opera that maybe lasts, 5 or 10 minutes or a day or two, whatever. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? Thank you. God bless you all. And as I told you, as I just said, I feel deeply grateful I can do this. And, what better reason to be alive than to truly, first of all, help myself and then to be able to help other people find high levels of their own humanity. So God bless you all for being here. Thank you. And there'll be meditation on what is today? Sunday, Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.